Hello and welcome back to the Hearthstone Advent Calendar. Sorry about the late release of this video. I lost the audio footage from my unboxing and it all had to be redone. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to do an unboxing now, and I'm gonna commentate over it. So I've already done this unboxing and commentate over it. Then I'm going to record a fresh match, and I'm going to record a fresh deck building as well. Not in that order. So without further ado, I'll get on and unbox one of these. As usual, the same format applies. I'm going to be making a deck with the most interesting or the rarest card. I think let's get something good in this pack. Spoilers, I know that we get something all right, because I've already unboxed this. Now, if you hover your cursor over each of the cards before you click on them, not that this serves much for purpose, because you're going to see it anyway, but you get to actually see what rarity the cards are. Now you can see the three on the right there don't actually have any sort of glowing background. That means they're of common rarity. Not really what we're after. If it has a blue background, a blue little thing, rare rarity, which is the next one above. If it's purple, it's of epic rarity, and if it's orange, it's of legendary rarity. Legendaries would be very nice. Also, you can see there's a little crystal in the centre of each of the cards, a little like pearl in the centre of each of the cards. Because that's white, it means it's common. The same colour scheme applies. So I promptly decide that stuff like this Wind Fury Harpy is okay, the Wisp is terrible, but basically I can't really build a deck around any of these commons. So I'm not going to be, especially since they're available for all the classes, so it doesn't even narrow it down a lot. So hopefully we unlock a better rare or a better epic than these. The Wind Fury is okay. The Wisp is just garbage. Yeah, it's 1-1 for O, but it's just useless. It's terrible. Youthful Brewmaster is quite nice, especially when you've got battle cries, but we want to move on to the rares and the epics. Now this Hunter Misdirection, I'm not fond of it, because you tend to end up attacking your own characters with it, because well, you have a lot of characters on the field. So this epic, Brawl for the Warrior, that's pretty nice. Destroys every minion except one. You don't even have to have minions on the field to play it, so you can destroy all of your opponent's minions except for one. So we are going to be building a Warrior deck. We are going to put Brawl in it, and I'm going to be building that right now. And we're back, and we're about to build a Warrior deck with the cards that I've just unboxed. Should be good. Now, I already have a Warrior there. Just get rid of that. Now, the Warrior deck should primarily be focused on, as you would expect with a Warrior, lots of smashing and hitting and fighting and brawling. So I'm going to put a big focus on dealing damage to the enemy, and I'm going to put a big focus on controlling the board through aggression. But there are a few things to always take into consideration when you're building a deck. The first one is what's known as the mana curve, which can be seen here if I hold my cursor at this top bit. This tells me how many cards of a certain cost, because this is what the thing in the top left hand corner is, cost, how many of a single type there is in my deck. So if I just add like this one, then all these twos, and then some of these threes, you can see that the mana curve is terrible, obviously, because I've just randomly added cards. What we want to do is keep this mana curve relatively even. So we can play cards out early game, we can play big cards out late game, and we can play cards consistently. Because if we just put a lot of low cost cards in, we'll run out of cards really fast, because we only draw one card a turn. Moving on to that, that's something else you've got to consider when you make your deck, is draw. If you're going to be playing 2 cards every turn, and only drawing 1, you're going to run out of cards. So with that in mind, we've got to put some nice draw in as well. So those are our focuses today. We're going to keep this mana curve nice and even. We're going to put in a little bit of draw to make sure we don't run out of cards. And we're going to focus on aggression and beating the living shit out of our enemy. Hopefully it's not a goddamn paladin again. I'm going to put a War Axe in, because there are a few cards in the Warrior class that actually perform better when you're at low health. The reason for this is it's rewarding you for getting into battle. It's rewarding you for being in scrapes. You will notice that he has a thing here that says Armour Up Hero Power. each class has a hero power that always costs 2, yeah? And this hero power allows him to gain 2 armor. Now that doesn't count as health, but it does stop 2 damage, the same way health does. So what this means is that you can go down to low health, have a lot of armor, and be far away from dying. And it means that you can also, for example, I'll try and find a card that actually helps you out. There you are, Mortal Strike. Deal 4 damage, or if your hero has 12 or less health, deal 6 damage instead. So this could deal 6 damage, and you could be on 12 or less health, but if you have another 10 armor, you're effectively on 22 health. So, yeah, you get rewarded for being on low health and getting scrapes, but you're not vulnerable because you're a warrior and you have armor. So with that in mind, I'm going to put a couple of war axes in, so I can get in there and swing myself. I can do a lot of damage myself, take a lot of damage, and hopefully benefit from cards like this by taking a lot of damage. So I'll put that in. I will put Brawl in as well, because it is the card we unboxed. Of course, it's got to go in. And then we look at what else we can do. Whenever a minion takes damage, gain +1 attack. Our minions are going to be taking a lot of damage, so let's be honest. We're going to be running a lot of minions into other minions, and this is any minions. This is including the enemy minions, and they're going to be taking damage as well. So we will put him in. He's fairly cheap. He's fairly fragile as well at 4 health, considering we want to buff him, but we'll put him in because he's going to become a threat really quickly in this deck. He's going to be something the enemy wants to take care of because of the amount of damage he's going to gain very quickly. I'm against just put one of these in. Charge doesn't really make a minion a threat until late game. It is an O-drop. It costs nothing to use. I will give it. I will put it in. Executes are really nice because everything is going to get damaged, yes? Everything is going to get damaged. And whenever a minion takes damage, gain +1 attack. So what this enables me to do is kill any minion that's already damaged. So what that means is I can damage a minion, this will gain +1 attack, then I can kill that minion straight out, and then this can be charged by this and do damage straight to him. It's loads of stuff combos together, basically. As long as you're dealing consistent damage as the warrior, and it doesn't even matter if you're taking damage yourself, you'll be able to output more than your opponent is. You'll be able to, that's the whole point, is to gain an advantage over your opponent at some point in the game. Battle Cry, deal 1 damage to a minion and give it +2 attack. If I did it to this, for example, not only would it gain +2 attack, it would gain another attack because the minion is taking damage itself, or it could happen to any other minion, basically. I'm going to put in a couple of heroic strikes as well, give my own hero 4 attack, because they don't actually need a weapon to be used. He could just, attack with his fists, basically. And then we look at the mana curve and we see it's horribly, horribly out of whack. I've got a giant middle finger just swearing at me there. I need to put in a lot of other cards. So I'm going to put this in as well, actually. It has charge, it's a 4/3, it's a 4-drop. I'll put 1 in. It's not great, but it has charge. It can get in there and do damage really fast. Wisp is horrible. It's a horrible card. It's useless. I don't like it. But the Abusive Sergeant is a good card. Give a friendly minion +2 attack this turn. Again, we want attack, we want damage. I'll put him in. I'm going to stay away from Murlocs, and I'm probably going to stay away from the majority of the remaining 1-drops because they're not great. And early game, they're not great. Late game, they're even worse. Stuff like the Voodoo Doctors, which is normally really nice. I don't want to be restoring health to myself. I've got armor up, so I don't need to be restoring health to myself. Stuff like the Goldsha Footman and the Taunts. I want some perhaps higher level taunts in there to pose a threat, but lower level taunts, maybe not, because I want to focus on damage. I have got a lot of 2-drop. I will put 1 and more in. I'll put that in, because if we look, just put it next to the Bloodflowing Raptor, it's exactly the same, except it's got a fantastic effect. It's really good, and it deals with any weapon they've got out if you've got it in your hand. But now I'm going to stay away from all these 2-drops. I'm going to leave them because I've got too many already. Maybe not actually. I mentioned earlier that we're going to need draw. So I will put the Loot Hoarder in, because he's good in that when he dies, a death rattle, he draws a card, and he also gets to do 2 damage, so he fills what I want out of this warrior deck. He gets in there, does damage, and you get to draw a card as well. I won't put this in because too many 2-drops, look at that, far too many 2-drops, and it is draw a card, but just too many 2-drops. Move on. We don't need stuff like spell damage, because none of my... he's a warrior. He's not very spell-based, is he? He's a physical attacker. I will put a Harvest Golem in though, because for 3 cost, you're effectively summoning a 4/4. That is good. That is good, because it summons a damaged version of itself when it dies. So I'll put one of those in. What else have I got? Staying away from low level taunts. However, a raid leader giving everything else +1 attack. I'd say I put one of those in. I don't really want to rush down. I don't want to get a lot of really crap minions out. So I'm going to stay away from this lower end of stuff now. I've got all these 2s and 3s in. This would be nice if it had charge maybe and cost more, but 1 health, it's not going to do anything. It's going to trade with like a paladin's crappy 1/1 or something like that. It's just not very good at all. I'm low on taunts, but this is the first sort of taunt monster that I'm going to put in. Taunts mean that they've got to attack it first, and this gives monsters either side of it 1/1 and taunt. I think that's fantastic. I'm going to put him in, because this turns a big hefty monster into a big hefty threat, because they've got to deal with it then. I'm going to put Chillwind Yeti in, because it's a fairly nice hitter. It's got a lot of health as well, so it's fairly cost effective. But we've got a lot of 4s now if we look here. We're climbing on the 4s. Yes, we've got a lot of 2s as well. So I'll skip over adding another one in. I will add both of these in because we need card draw, and I know for a fact that's the last card draw I have in all of my collection. So I need to put those in. But then I'll move on away from these 4 drops because we've got loads of them now. Don't want to be restoring health. We do want some big high-level taunts, but this won't trade fantastically. It's only got 4 health, so I'll see what else we've got before I go out there and pick it. This 5/5 with stealth is quite nice. Stealth means it can't be targeted with anything, and 5 health means it's quite hefty. It can't be targeted with anything until it deals damage. So I'll put that in. That's like a guaranteed 5 damage. It can be targeted by area of effect stuff that doesn't specify a target, but it's got 5 health, so it will probably live through the majority of area of effect spells. I'm going to put a Gurubashi in, because imagine if we put this Gurubashi... Actually, I'm going to put 2 Gurubashi in. Actually, I lied. I'm going to put 1 Gurubashi in, because it gains 3 attack whenever it takes 1 damage. Imagine hitting it with the Cruel Taskmaster. Does 1 damage to a minion, so it immediately gains 3 attack, and then it gains another 2 attack. So that's gone from being 2 to 7. It's gone from being 2/7 to a 7/6. That'd be really good. So I'm going to put him in, but there aren't many other ways I can deal a lot of damage to it. So I'm going to stay away from 2 of them. Look at the curve. Lacking in high-end monsters. Only got 8 cards left. I'll probably come back to these 5 drops. I don't really want the Silverhound Knight in there. It doesn't really fit with the theme of the warrior. I am going to put in a Stormpike Commander, dealing 2 damage, because it hasn't got a lot of health, but it's got 2 damage. It comes up there and it punches with 2 damage, so I'm going to whack that in. Stay away from the Nightblade, because I don't want to necessarily deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. I don't want to be sneaky and go behind his back and deal damage directly to him. I want to be dealing damage to whatever I feel like. I want to be getting there and scrapping with his minions and him. Yes, he's going in. I need no other reason than that he is massive and golden and animated, and that's the only reason I'm putting him in. If you don't agree with me, go fuck yourself. As for other monsters, War Golem, not so fond of it. 7/7/7, it's pretty plain. We're going to put both of these in, some high level taunts. We're going to put this in because we just unboxed it. No real other reason. I'm going to put... We've got 3 more cards to put in. Look at the curve. Look at the curve. We haven't got any 7 drops. That's the thing. I was going to put in a Boulder Fist Ogre, but I'm going to actually stay away from it now. I'm going to put in 1 Core Hound because it's got massive attack and it's got a fair amount of health. So it will probably trade all right. I can put in 1 Stormwind Champion. And then what we're lacking in... We're lacking in 3 drops, clearly. We don't want to put in... You'll see we're lacking in 7s as well, and maybe 6s and 5s. But the maximum amount of mana you can get per turn is 10. So you're never going to be able to play more than 2 5-drops on a single turn. And you're never, ever going to be able to play 2 6-drops unless you have a spell that gives you more mana. So I'm going to go back to my 3 drops and see what I can take. I'm tempted to take that, actually. I will take that. It's 3/3 and gives something +1/+1. The only problem is it's fairly wasted if you don't have anything else out on the field. But I plan to. I don't plan to lose. I don't plan to lose all my minions, so I'm putting that in. Seems like a fairly solid deck. The mana curve seems fairly even, lacking in 1-drops and 7+ drops, but I think we'll be able to consistently summon out quite a few monsters per turn. We seem to have a good focus here on damage and brawling, and we've got a bit of draw in there as well. So hopefully I'll be able to kick some ass with this unnamed deck. I forgot to name it. I'll call it Kick Ass Warrior. Fantastic. So I'll go play a match with it then. Hopefully I'm tempting fate. Hopefully I don't get a paladin. I haven't actually unlocked very many cards. Whirlwind's a nice card. You unlock 2 cards every 2 levels, up to a maximum of level 10, and then they start repeating themselves. Yeah, I haven't unlocked many cards. Hopefully we'll be able to get in there, swing, and deal a lot of damage to someone. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking at playing as a really aggressive warrior. This is what I mentioned earlier when I was drawing cards. Whatever colour the gem is in the middle depends on its rarity. And a different colour gem, different rarity. Right, I'm crossing everything I've got. Hopefully not a paladin. Not a paladin. Not a paladin. Oh, thank God, it's a shaman. Oh, thank goodness. Right. Now, am I going second or first? I'm going second. If you go second, they're going to have a permanent advantage over you because you gain 1 mana crystal per turn. Yeah? They're going to have a permanent advantage over you. So to equal that advantage, you not only get an extra card, I'm going to get rid of that, but you also get what's known as the coin, which enables you for 1 turn, brilliant, for 1 turn to advance 1 mana crystal, which is pretty evening. I'd rather play second than play first, because, see, it's very rarely that you can actually summon something out straight away. Now, I don't want to waste him, because I have nothing to give +2 attack to. What I am going to do is use the coin to get an advantage, because that's what it's there for. And I'm going to put the loot hoarder out. If he kills it, I get a card. If he doesn't kill it, he gets to start dealing damage. And it's just going to keep dealing damage to him until he deals with it. And then when he does deal with it, I draw a card.
I hope you like my invention.
See, he's got exactly the same thing here. This will kill this, yeah? Vice versa. But I'm just going to straight up attack him.
Hey, give me that!
Because it's up to him to deal with this. It's not my problem. If he starts swinging at me for 1, I'm swinging at him for 2, you know? So it's really not my problem. I will summon an axe. I've got 2 axes or 1 axe, I can't remember. This axe equips straight to my character and he deals the damage. In fact, it does 3 damage. I am going to equip this axe. And I am going to swing straight for his face.
Hey, give me that!
It's his job to deal with this loot hoarder, not mine. I'm not going to be deliberately running it into minions unless it provides me with an advantage. Because the advantage here is it can deal 2 damage before this can kill it. That's the advantage it provides.
We must cleanse the sun.
Now we can't kill it. Perhaps I should have dealt with that. Who knows? Oh, I did draw a card from it though, because it died. Now I've got to figure out what to do. I can bring my cool Taskmaster out, deal 1 damage to a minion, give it +2 attack. That would kill it, obviously. It's only got 1 health left. And then I can swing straight for the Shattered Sun Cleric, and that'd kill it. I think that sounds like a solid plan. I only have 3 mana to spend this turn, and that costs 2. So I wouldn't summon this out. So it's a bit of a waste of mana. But I've learnt my lesson. I'm going to keep control of the board. I'm going to get in there and I'm going to brawl. I'm going to do a lot of damage, but I'm going to keep control of the board is the main thing. And I don't really want to be playing more cards per turn than he is.
I hope you like my invention.
That doesn't count as a card because it's its own. It seems to have a lot of garbage, which is typically the way shamans go. They summon out a lot of really trashy monsters. What to play? What to play? I'm keeping this in my hand in case he has a weapon. I could give this +1/+1. It would still die to this though. So, how to trade it? I think the play is I summon out Chiwidei. All my mana. That's a big threat. And then I deal with this. Because this only has 2 attack. It can kill either of these, but this has 3 attack, so I will focus that down. Now, what you got to remember, this is turn 4. Chill and Yeti. He's got to summon something with not necessarily 5 or more attack to deal with it, but he has got to deal with it somehow. Even if he uses direct removal, that's his direct removal gone on turn 4, you know? Another raptor. It's not going to save you. Unless you buff
We
it.
must cleanse the Sunwell.
See, that's an annoying amount of damage now. But it's only 3. Now, I have got Brawl. I do have Brawl. Now, I could roll the dice here. There's a 1 in 4 chance. Because Brawl destroys everything except for 1. There's a 1 in 4 chance that it's not my minion. Actually, if I let him kill my stuff, and then I could Brawl next turn, and I just focus on dealing damage to him, actually, that might be a good play. Because I'll have 6 mana next turn, so I'll be able to play Brawl and nothing else. I'm not sure what position that will leave me in next turn. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll summon that out. It's got charge. This gives +1 attack to... I'll go for you. Doesn't really matter which one. And I'll just swing straight for his face. Just took a lot of damage. He just took 10 damage in 1 turn. And he may deal with my stuff. Like, this is going to trade with this. This can trade with this. This can't trade with this, actually, with die. So, even if he doesn't deal with anything, I can keep swinging at his face. And then, when eventually he will deal with all of my stuff, because I'm not attacking his minions. So his minions will just gain an advantage naturally.
Handle it.
Yeah, like that. He'll just summon out more and more minions until he gains a big advantage. And then I can just Brawl it. And all of his minions will kill each other, apart from 1. They trade. They trade. He's going straight for me. I don't see any real reason at this point to play Brawl. He hasn't got enough out on the field. This has got Taunt, so I'm going to have to deal with that first. This will trade, unfortunately, because this is giving this 1 attack. I think I may Mortal Strike that, just to get rid of it. That'll leave him with 2 mana. Sounds good. I'll get rid of that. So what this means is that this now has 0 attack, so I can just get rid of it for no reason, for no penalty. And I will armor up. And now we see with big armor sort of plays coming in for the warrior, because that's protecting me against 2 more damage. This trades against this if he wants. He can summon out a load of stuff if he wants. He can summon out Bonfist Ogre if he wants. That doesn't really bother me. It's got 7 health. That's a lot of health. That's a lot of health. I'm a bit worried about how I'm... Well, I know how I'm going to deal with it. If I summon this out, he'll be forced to attack this in some capacity. It'll die, but that'll be left on 1 health. But that's traded then. That's traded well.
The gates are open.
I'll summon that out. I don't really have a choice. I don't want to be hit for tons of damage, because if I don't play that out, I literally won't play any card out at all. So that's taken 1 damage now. And it's down to 1 health even. So it's a bit of a problem.
Just me and Mr. Bite.
I should have probably just taken that 6 damage, actually. I probably should have taken that 6 damage and not wasted my Lord of the Arena. I could use that against him, but I really don't want to. I want to Brawl, really. I will Brawl. Hopefully the Boltfist Ogre is left over. Didn't want that. Did not want that. I'll just armor up. Keep an armoring up. I'm better than to just play out a trash card now. I'm not going to play out just some rubbish. See how mana's climbing now. He's got 9. I've only got 8. He's got the advantage because he went first. 2 of them. 2 of these bad boys. They've both got Taunt.
The frost wolves stand ready.
Now I'm in a bit of a pickle. Luckily I've got that. It helps me draw a card at least. I'll see what I draw, eh?
Pass me that Arclight Spanner.
That's a nice card. because it will definitely leave me with something on the field. This is a bit of a tricky one. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to deal with this, because he may be on lower health. I've got to get through both of these, and I've got to get rid of this. And I've used Brawl, so
What now?
I'll armour up against any incoming damage. And I'll just have to end my turn. I can't really afford to... This is a problem. This is a big problem now. He's got a lot of minions out. And while he doesn't have a lot of cards in his hand, he's got a lot of minions and a lot of taunt. He's just going to go straight for me, you see. That's quite funny. That doesn't help. That does not help. I'm at max mana now. Right. What I can do is attack anything. Probably one of these Shield Masters. And then execute it. That leaves me with 9 mana. Then what can I do with that 9? Oh, what? How much damage has he got? 3, 6, 9. He's got 15, 16 damage next turn. So I'm dead next turn unless I start killing things. So
Hey, give me a minute.
I've got to start killing things. Got to start killing things. Oh dear. I could summon the Core Hound out. That's a bit of a threat. He'd have to trade 2 monsters for it, or his one big one. Then I can armour up to stop myself dying next turn. But this Core Hound doesn't have taunt. He could, well, just swing straight for my face still. So, it's a major issue here. If he has Bloodlust, which is, it gives all of his monsters tons of attack, then I'm dead. There's no two ways about it. Okay, he's going to trade that for that. That's okay. Swinging straight for me. That's certainly a move. Because I'm dead next turn. Oh, what's he playing? Oh dear. I've got to somehow deal with all of this. Now, what has he got next turn? He's got 3, 9. Oh dear. He's got 14 damage next turn. I can only buff myself to 7. So I've got to take out loads of minions, and I really cannot do that, can I? I can't take out his minions. I can only attack one of these 2 taunts. So that's that. Let's get rid of that. Let's armour up, because I need the help. I'm just checking whether this is even possible to win. He's just going to attack me directly next turn for loads of damage. I think I've just lost. I've just lost, everyone. I've just lost.
Well,
I've just lost. I couldn't have won. Brilliant. Yeah, he could just attack me straight up. He had too many taunts out. I couldn't deal with this. Just couldn't deal with that. And he's just going to kill me. Well, that was the warrior deck. I think I need to work with the warrior a little bit more, and learn some of the basic cards before I actually start winning. As it stands, not great. I can't deal with lots and lots and lots of minions, which is what Shaman's about. Oh well. Suppose that's that then. I will earn more cards, hopefully, and next time I open a pack, it will be less of a disaster. Hopefully, anyway. Trying to get better. Anyway, thanks for watching. This has been the Hearthstone Advent Calendar. My name has been Keys. Tune in next time to see what's behind door number 4. Thank you. Bye.